Coming to you from BLC Studios in Mankato, Minnesota, this is the Bethany Vikings podcast. Hosted by Brock Aker, Jake Anderson, and Gabe Stace. It's time to go inside Bethany Athletics.
Welcome back to the Bethany Vikings podcast. For one final time this season, it's going to be the last episode I host as well as I graduate in a week. This is episode 41. In my tenure here since 2020, I, Brock Aker, created that, and we've had so many guests. We'll get to that at the very end of the show, but we are going to go out with a bang today. We had the Bethany Initials Championship between men's basketball player Hunter Nielsen, men's baseball player Matt Verdugo, and the sports info director Katie Jo Swenson. Then we'll get into the spring UMAC championships with our tennis, softball, and baseball team. We'll get to an AD move coming up here as Don Westfall accepted another job here on campus, and we are in a search of another AD. We'll go over the new soccer rule changes that'll come up next year, which would have affected the UMAC tournament championship game between Superior and Bethany if the rule change happened last year. Then we'll go over the Bethany Vikings podcast Player of the Year for men and women. And then we'll end with one final farewell of our gratitude for you guys joining us every step of the way these last 2 years. I'm Brock Aker. I'll be joined by Gabe Stace here soon. Stay tuned and for one last ride of the Bethany Vikings podcast.
All right, we're now here in the championship round of the Bethany Initials. I'm Brock Aker, joined by Gabe Stace here, who's going to be producing and making sure we get the right team member dialing in on time first. I know we had some close ones here in the first two rounds, but this week in the championship, it's Hunter Nielsen from the men's basketball team, Matt Verdugo of the baseball team, and Katie Jo Swenson, the sports info director here at Bethany Lutheran College. They all had, I guess Katie Jo and Verdugo had similar stories of getting here. They both won in overtime, or in the final, the tiebreaker round. Hunter Nielsen kind of dominated his round. Hunter, do you feel like you're the favorite then?
No, I'm going in with an underdog mentality here.
All right, well, that could work. He got 5 points his first round. Next up is Verdugo. He won the very first week. Have we kind of froze you, Verdugo? You haven't been playing for about a month now. Are you ready?
Oh no, I'm locked in.
Verdugo is on his way actually to Franklin Rogers right now. He doesn't know how not to work. He's already going to probably get some ground balls and BP right when this is over with. And then finally, Katie Jo Swenson. She could be talking about underdog. I think she was the underdog last week after going against Derek Lingholm, who dominated 2 years ago, but Katie Jo Swenson wasn't phased. And even when Derek had a comeback, he tied it with the last item that forced overtime, but Katie Jo still won in the tiebreaker. How are you feeling about the championship, Katie Jo?
Excited to be here.
Were you surprised how you beat Lingholm, or were you confident in your wisdom of initials?
I just wanted to give it my best effort.
Very concise. That's awesome. We'll get things started because I know Hunter Nielsen has to get going here as well. And we have 20 items we're playing here. Again, it's whoever gets the most items wins the round. Contestants are given 10 items of 2 sets of initials here in the championship. It can be people, places, things. Each item has the same set of initials for the 10 that we're doing. Contestants are given up to 6 clues for each item. The first person to ring in with their name is allowed up to 5 seconds to answer, and they can ring in at any time during the progression of clues. If they are correct, they get a point. If they are incorrect, the clue continues and the other players are allowed to ring in. The winner of the initials is whoever gets the most points, and a tiebreaker is still going to be used here in the championship round if we get there. No phones again, unless that's what you're using for Zoom, and no using other people or Google here for the championship round. So the first set of initials, there will be 10 items, is D like dog and T like telephone. D like dog, T like telephone is the first set of initials. So we'll get started here. Item number 1, clue number 1, established in 1894. Clue number 2, appears in the movie For the Love of the Game.
Katie Jo.
All right, Katie Jo.
Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers is correct on the second clue. Katie Jo starting off hot. and she gets the first point. But again, there's still 19 more items here. We'll start with the second item. Clue number 1, net worth over $36 billion. Clue number 2, associated with the color green. Clue number 3, first opened in 1986. Clue number 4, headquarters is in Chesapeake, Virginia. Chesapeake, Virginia. Clue number 5, connected to the number 1. Clue number 6, final clue, everything costs the same at this store.
Hunter.
All right, Hunter.
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree is correct. And Hunter and Katie Jo now each have a point apiece. Verdugo's still looking to get on the board. All right, item number 3 of the first set of the 10 items with the initials DT. Clue number 1, born in Glendale, California. Clue number 2, current salary is $119,500. Clue number 3, attended the University of Connecticut. Clue number 4, the WNBA's all-time leading scorer.
Yeah,
Hunter?
shoot.
Diana Taurasi.
Oh,
Yeah, Diana Taurasi is correct. Hunter just got in a little before Katie Jo, and he now takes the lead 2-1. Verdugo, are you parked yet, Verdugo?
No, I'm parked. I'm
All right, Verdugo's
Paying
parked. I think
attention.
he's going to get on the action here coming up as well. We'll go with item number 4 of DT. Clue number 1. The first one of these opened in 1947. Clue number 2. First chain to use this was Jack in the Box.
Katie Jo,
Okay, Katie Jo.
drive-through.
Drive-through is correct. And now we're back all even at 2 apiece. Some of these, I might not be doing good on my clues. The first set of 10 clues I created, the second was Gabe.
We got to give credit to the players.
Yeah, that's true. Just a lot of these clues going up right away. All right, we're on item number 5 now. Clue number 1, born in Queens, New York. Clue number 2, has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Clue number 3, appeared in The Little Rascals and Home Alone 2.
Hunter.
Matt.
All right, Hunter.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is correct. And it's 3-2, right? Hunter leading. Well, Verdugo, it sounded like he called in just a second late. But Hunter gets it on The Little Rascals and Home Alone 2. I didn't even have to get about the band on Twitter or the 45th president. That was nice. All right, we'll go to item number 6, clue number 1. This squad chose Christian Laettner over Shaq. Clue number 2, coached by Chuck Daly. Clue number 3, leading scorer was Charles Barkley. Clue
Hunter.
number 4. All right, Hunter.
Dream Team.
Dream Team was correct. And now Hunter has 4. The clue I was about to say was defeated its opponents by an average of 44 points. That's how good the Dream Team was. That's unbelievable. All right, we'll go to item number 7. So that's 4 more left here of the initials DT. Hunter Nielsen has a 4-2 lead. Clue number 1, item number 7, over 180 years old. Clue number 2, headquarters of AT&T. Clue number 3, where JFK was assassinated?
Hunter.
All right, Hunter.
Dallas, Texas.
Out.
Dallas, Texas is correct. And right now, Hunter's running the table here with
Keep getting right after the buzzer.
4 straight, yeah. A lot of close ones here. We'll got 3 more left of DT Verdugo. Still looking to get on the board here. But still plenty of items remaining. Item number 8, clue number 1. First appeared in 2001. Clue number 2. Has a brother named Jacob. Clue number 3. Lives his life a quarter mile at a time. Clue number 4. Connected to Paul Walker.
Hunter.
All right, Hunter.
Dom Toretto.
Yeah, we'll give it to you. Dom Toretto is correct. Dominic Toretto, yeah. We'll give that one. And is that 5 straight for Hunter here? 6-2 now. Hunter leads. Again, still 12 items to go as we are now on item number 9, clue number 1. The amount depends on the formation. Clue number 2. Connected to the Williams Wall. Clue number 3. Jordan Davis. Clue number 4. Close to the football. Clue number 5. Average weight is 310 pounds.
Katie Joe,
All right, Katie Joe.
defensive tackle.
Yeah, defensive tackle is correct. And Katie Joe now is trailing 6-3. Verdugo, you're still in this, man. There's still 11 to go. You can get on the
I
board
don't know.
right here.
It's not looking good.
Hey, you're not run ruled yet, Verdugo. You're still in this. You just needed like a 6-run inning here. All right. Item number 10, clue number 1. Invented by Vesta Stout. Clue number 2. First used in World War II. Clue number 3. Helped save the Apollo 13 mission.
Katie Joe,
All right, Katie Joe.
duct tape.
Duct tape is correct. And now we're done with the initials DT. Hunter Nielsen leads it with 6 points. Katie Joe there with 4 points. And Verdugo going to look on to get on the board here with our next set of initials, which is BB. Banana. All right. Item number 1 of initials BB, clue number 1. His real first and middle name is John Paul. Clue number 2. Fan favorite for his nickname. Clue number 3. He played for the Red Sox and Athletics in 2010. Clue number 4. Listed weight while playing was 245 pounds. Clue number 5. Pitcher for the American League Central Champions in 2006. The final clue, clue number 6. He made 60 starts with the Minnesota Twins.
Katie Joe,
All right, Katie Joe.
Boof Bonzer.
Boof Bonzer is correct. And now Katie Joe within 1 point. I think that's 3 straight for Katie Joe here. With 9 items to play. At least with Katie Joe getting these 3, Verdugo, you're still in it. You're down 6 with 9 to play. With item number 2 of the initials BB, clue number 1 was created in the late 1930s. Clue number 2 is the 9th most portrayed film personality in the world. Clue number 3, a Warner Bros. Staple.
Katie Joe.
Okay, Katie Joe.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny is correct. And now all the momentum with Katie Joe as she's up to 6 points. So game of runs here. You got Hunter Nielsen with 5 straight now. Katie Joe with 4 straight. We're all tied between those two at 6 apiece. With going to the item number 3 now. Clue number 1, often found in churches and schools. Clue number 2, a place where information is communicated. Clue number 3, usually contains posters and flyers.
Katie
Hunter?
Joe. Ooh.
Gabe got Hunter first in his ear. We're going to go with Hunter Nielsen.
Bulletin board.
Bulletin board is correct, and that stops the run for Katie Joe. And now Nielsen back on top as we get another lead change here as Hunter Nielsen leads 7-6 with 7 items to play. Verdugo, you can run the table here and force the tiebreaker as we go to item number 4, clue number 1. He does not practice magic. Clue number 2, a well-known wizard. Clue number 3, former Gator. Clue number 4, selected in the 2012 NBA draft. Clue number 5, has averaged 30 points per game or better twice in his career. Clue number 6, the final clue, shooting guard for the Washington Wizards.
Hunter.
All right, Hunter.
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal is correct. And that's the 8th point for Hunter. Verdugo officially out, but you can still ring in and take some points away from the other people. But right now it's Hunter leading 8-6. All right. This is item number 4 or 5 here in BB, Gabe.
5.
Item number 5 for BB, clue number 1, formerly known as the Pendle Stones. Clue number 2, founded in 1961.
Katie Joe. I'm going to take a risk.
All right, Katie Joe.
Beach Boys.
Beach Boys is correct. And it's now an 8-7 game with 5 items remaining. Hunter Nielsen of the men's basketball team leads Katie Joe, the sports info director here at Bethany. All right, item number 6 of the BB initials, clue number 1. This team is 98 years old. Clue number 2. They have a shared color scheme with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hunter.
Okay.
All right, Hunter.
Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins is correct. That's a pretty easy clue number 2, Gabe. Both of them entering in, but Hunter with the point, and it's 9-7 with 4 items remaining. If you get 2 of these, Hunter, you clinch here the Bethany Initials Championship. We'll go to item number 7, clue number 1, meant for characters the same size as baby Luigi. Clue number 2 has a speed rating of 53 out of 80 and a mini turbo rating of 67 out of 80. Clue number 3, it is a lightweight vehicle. Clue number 4 is a 2-wheel option on Mario Kart.
Hunter,
All right, Hunter.
is it the Bowser bike?
That is incorrect. So Hunter is out of item number 7 of BB. Clue number 5 shares its first name with the most powerful item in the game. And the final clue, clue number 6, the mini beast is this vehicle's cart counterpart. All right, 5,
This is Verdugo's chance.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it was Bullet Bike. Bullet Bike. So that one goes in the books as no point. We'll go to item number 8. Nielsen still leads by 2 with 3 to go. Meaning if he gets this, it's all over. He wins the Bethany Championship. We'll still play the last 2 items, but he would win. All right, item number 8, clue number 1, was married for 73 years until her death. Clue number 2, born in Manhattan, New York. Clue number 3, she started a literacy foundation. Clue number 4, served as second lady of the U.S. for 8 years.
Katie Joe.
All right, Katie Joe.
Barbara Bush.
Barbara Bush is correct, and she is within 1 point here. As we go to item number 9, again, if Hunter gets this one, he will win the initials, as he'd go up with 2 with only 1 remaining. All right, item number 9, clue number 1, headquartered in Fort Collins, Colorado. Clue number 2, menu options include the Veggie Energizer and the Kale Power. Clue number 3, has the location in Mankato. Clue number 4, company was founded in 2009. Clue number 5, serves smoothies, bowls, and fresh juices. I think Verdugo just left the Zoom. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back. All right. Verdugo's back. We're going to clue number 6. Can be found in the River Hills Mall.
Katie
5.
Joe.
All right, Katie Joe.
Barry Blends.
Barry Blends is correct. And we're all tied right now. We're tied at 9-9 with 1 more point. So Verdugo, if you get this, Verdugo, you force a tiebreaker. Otherwise, if Katie Joe or Hunter gets it, they win. We're going to have a walk-off here, either way. Item number 10, clue number 1, former defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. Clue number 2, he is 70 years old.
Katie Joe.
All right, Katie Joe, for the win, the championship.
Brian Belichick.
That is incorrect. So clue number 3 here. So Verdugo and Nielsen, you can still enter. But Brian Belichick was incorrect. Clue number 3, known for taking advantage of the rules. Clue number 4, former Cleveland Browns head coach. Clue number 5, third winningest head coach all time in NFL history.
Hunter.
All right, Hunter.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick is correct. Katie Joe could have maybe helped you there with the last name, but it is Bill Belichick. And Hunter Nielsen wins this year, the 2020, I messed up on that, 2022 Bethany Initials Championship. Congratulations, Hunter. What is your speech here for the people?
Oh, thank you. Shout out to all my teammates who got me prepared for this moment, and thanks for all the good competition that we had. Thanks to you guys too.
Yeah, thank you, Hunter, for coming on and being the champion. Thank you also to Katie, Joe, and Verdugo. But it's the men's basketball team holding up the trophy of the Bethany Initials at the end of the day. All right, I guess Brian Belichick is real, Katie, Joe. He's the safeties coach for the New England Patriots. But that's it. That's a wrap here of the Bethany Initials. Thanks to all the players representing each team. And congratulations one last time to Hunter Nielsen for winning the Bethany Championship of the Initials.
Well, Gabe, did you expect it to go down to the wire like that happened in the Bethany Initials?
No, thrilling finish, exactly the way we would have planned it. But when Katie Joe got the Barry Blends one, I thought she was going to steal it there, but no can do. Congratulations to Hunter Nielsen, obviously, and he was hyped for his basketball teammates as well.
I was surprised that Brian Belichick was actually a person. So
yeah, I wasn't sure. Hadn't heard of him. Had to look it up in case Bill had another first name that we were unaware of.
But yeah, Hunter Nielsen, the men's basketball team, wins the Bethany Initials. But we're going to close out here with the final about 10 minutes here of the last episode of the Bethany Vikings podcast, which we started. I started back in January, the end of January in 2020. So over 2 years. We'll get to some of that specifics at the very end. But let's get into the championship or the UMAC championship tournament coming up, beginning with baseball, as Liam Peterson won the UMAC Player of the Week, had a 4-hit day. The baseball, their hitting's been better of late, but they still have a weekend series with North Central before they get to the UMAC tournament.
Yeah, and we kind of see a few teams at the top of the UMAC tournament. Right now, baseball is locked into that number 3 seed. They can move up, but you're right. The bats have been heating up, which is what we've been looking for. 3 guys actually recently had a 4-hit day against Crown College. Malachi Santiago, obviously Liam Peterson, as we just mentioned, and Matt Verdugo as well. So bright things ahead. We'll see what they can do. Hopefully finish the season strong against North Central.
Santiago kind of struggled at the beginning a little bit with his hitting, and like you said, now he's really come alive. I think we do have a deep lineup, especially when you talk about like the Ross Beamers, who's kind of hitting at the bottom of the order right now. Like if you would have told us that entering the season, I know he struggled a little bit, but anything can happen when you come to postseason time. Since he has all that experience playing in so many UMAC tournaments and championships, I think that just benefits the Vikings, even though they're a young team. I think kind of like the softball, Gabe. They have a mix of young and older talent.
Yeah, and speaking of softball, they have earned the 3 seed for the UMAC tournament. That will be played all at University of Wisconsin-Superior since they are the 1 seed. And they started against Northwestern, who we actually won the season series against. So even though we're the 3 seed, Northwestern the 2 seed, look for that to be a good game, and I expect the Vikings to come out on top.
Yeah, I don't like how we have to travel to Superior. That's kind of a long trip, but hey, Superior still, you don't have the pressure of hosting. I know we hosted, 2 years ago? I think my first year of the podcast, we hosted the tournament. I think Northwestern came on top. So you just can go on the road and play spoiler. I know the men's baseball team back in 2019, we went to Scholastica in Duluth and we came out victorious. And Scholastica didn't even win one game when they were the host. So by no means does the host always win in these tournaments. It was softball in 2019 when I think of it. We didn't have a 2020 season. That was the last time softball won the regular season and got to host.
Yeah, and we talk about anything can happen in these tournaments, and nobody is unbeatable on the softball side either. Like Superior, they have 3 conference losses. Bethany only a couple behind them in the loss column. So anything can happen, and future is bright for this team too.
Same thing with baseball. Every team has multiple losses right now. The Vikings are locked into the 3rd seed or better, but like you said, unlike softball, there's still another weekend to play, so we can't put a finite seed on them yet. Softball, they are 3rd seed. They play Northwestern, like you said, here coming up this weekend. All right, tennis, man. Or do you have anything last thought of softball?
No, but going on to tennis, 3 seems to be the common denominator, I guess, here. The men's tennis team is also the 3 seed heading into the UMAC tournament. They have a chance to take on Northwestern.
Yeah, and they've lost 5-4 in the last couple matches against them. We played Northwestern last year in the tournament. I think we were the 8 seed, and they were the 2 seed or something like that. I think there's only 7 teams actually that made. I think the 1 seed was Scholastica. They got the bye. The 2 seed was Northwestern. We were the 7 seed, and we didn't get a point on them. We've gotten 4 points in each of our matches here this year. I think it's going to come down to a couple. If Marcos can win his singles, I think a couple doubles go down to the wire. But I think there's a chance. Obviously, I think we're probably going in as pretty big underdogs, but it's not impossible like maybe it was last year.
Yeah, you talk about 5-4. It's just one match that needs to turn our way for something to happen and to advance to the final.
So we wish the tennis team good luck here this weekend. Same thing with softball. And then in baseball here in a week and a half, if they can finish strong too against North Central on the road this weekend. But how about golf? Speaking of you as a golfer that's been on the podcast for the last 3 years, this season's been really special and it's still continuing. It's not over yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually just won our last invite, our only invite of the season, of the spring season against Martin Luther invite. So a few teams there, including Superior, Northwestern. So some good competition to get us ready to head down to Florida, Howard in the Hills. So obviously I'm stoked about that. The competition starts May 10th. We'll get a couple practice rounds in, and the weather will be very, very hot. So I don't know. I'll wear shorts, t-shirt, wear a hat, get sunburned either way. But I'm just stoked, obviously, with the bunch of seniors that we have to go down and spend time with those guys.
So do you guys have to take finals earlier then? Because you've pretty much gone the whole finals week. That's kind of nice. Yeah,
busy week for me. Lots of papers that I'm trying to get in and take a couple tests early as well.
So just so you know, golf, it's a cumulative a sport between all the different golfers. And so it wasn't just one person. It was Gabe, Noah. You want to say your whole team out for everyone?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the 5 of us seniors, myself, Noah Fick, Nick Hansen, Vlad Natardi, and Tom Havnen.
All right. Well, congratulations to those 5, and good luck to you guys here as we go on to Florida. But the last end of the year notes, I don't think we touched on in the last couple of podcasts, but there's going to be a different athletic director come next season.
Yeah, that's right. The news with Don Westphal, he is transitioning to the director of the Bethany Fund moving forward. And obviously he's had great success here, many conference championships among multiple teams. So the search for that is continuing. We could see a new one announced in the coming weeks.
So, yeah, I know Coach Lingholm, I have a class with him, and he said he's been a part of the interview process, all the coaches. I think that's kind of cool about to have all the different voices here at Bethany, all the different coaches, because they have a lot of experience, that they're a part of that interview process. So that's something to keep a note, like you said, as we go forward here, to keep following the BLC Twitter, as that decision's probably going to come up pretty soon here. But no quick decision. We don't know. We're just students, but we know it's going to happen at some point.
And then we've got some soccer rules changes for next year as a little note moving forward. For the regular season, starting next year, overtime has been completely eliminated. Again, that's in the regular season. If a game is tied after the 90 minutes, it just ends in a tie. Previously, there was a golden rule, meaning a sudden death end to regular season games. Well, that's no longer going to happen. But in postseason games, the golden goal rule has been eliminated as well. The two teams will play 2 10-minute overtime periods instead. And if there is no winner after the conclusion of those overtimes, the game will be decided on PKs. Obviously, Brock, that could have affected our men's soccer team this past fall against Superior when Superior eliminated us in the UMAC championship.
In overtime, yeah.
Yep, on a sudden death goal. Obviously, this rule would have given the Vikings another chance. So maybe 1 year too late for the Vikings, but still kind of an interesting rule change to keep an eye on heading into next fall.
That's usually how they change rules, is something like that comes down to overtime, and they think that it should be different, kind of like the Buffalo Bills and the Chiefs. There's a new overtime rule because of what happened there. So usually there is a instigator that prior season to cause a new rule change. So I think that could be the Bethany rule.
Yeah, maybe, and I don't know if it was decided because of that. I would assume maybe not, just because I don't know what happened in other conferences or in the national tournament or whatever. Obviously, we just saw what happened in the UMAC last fall. But I don't know if that rule was already on the table or not. So we don't want to get into too much speculation.
But that's a good note. As we lead now, we're going to do the Bethany Vikings Player of the Year award. I know we did weekly awards, but this is a Player of the Year award. And we're sticking with men's soccer. The men award this year goes to Max Bush.
Yeah, Offensive Player of the Year, obviously led BLC to that regular season, a share of the regular season title in the UMAC. 19 goals and 5 game winners for him on the season. And again, UMAC Offensive Player of the Year as well.
Yeah, that 19 goals. And you said he's moving on to Division II, a school in New York?
That's correct. So we'll wish him the best of luck. Obviously, he leaves as probably the greatest Bethany soccer player of all time.
Again, leading them to the first conference regular season championship, and again, just short of Superior for the UMAC tournament championship. For the women's, I don't think there's really a tough decision on that one.
No, I mean, we've got the GOAT right here.
It is Hannah Geisfeldt. She is going to win, so add this award to her many as we go through. She played 27 games because this award, again, it's about this year. So we're going to focus on Hannah Geisfeldt this year. She scored 699 points, made 261 field goals, 8 3-pointers even. That was her most of any season in her career here. 169 free throws, had 351 rebounds, 99 assists, 7 blocks, and 32 steals. Became the 20th member of the Division III Women's Basketball 2,000 career point and 1,000 career rebound club. She was a 9-time UMAC Player of the Week this year, named to the All-Tournament team at the St. Benedict tip-off. All right, I think we're about halfway through her accolades now, Gabe. I'll take a deep breath. All right, and she's also was named to the D3Hoops.com Team of the Week 5 different times. She was named National Player of the Week by the U.S. Basketball Writers Association 3 times, the UMAC Player of the Year, the D3Hoops.com Regional Player of the Year, the D3Hoops.com First Team All-Region, the D3Hoops.com First Team All-American. Still 2 more. She is the Co-SIDA Academic All-District, Co-SIDA First Team Academic All-American.
Yeah, they like to shorten that up to COSIDA. But anyways, so many firsts on that list for any Bethany athlete ever. So many Coaches Association awards for her as well that we didn't even mention. Just an unbelievable year, unbelievable career. She finished in the top 10 of points, field goals, rebounds, just a ton of different categories for the Vikings nationally.
So congratulations, Hannah Geisfeldt. And Max Bush was an All-American D3 too at one of his. I know he was at least last year. I think he was right up there again this year as well. So 2 very worthy Bethany Vikings podcast players of the year right there. So the last thing is we're just saying thank you to our listeners and viewers over these last 2 years. We put the numbers in, and this is our 41st episode. I'm graduating, so I'm done. Gabe, you're here another semester. We'll see if someone picks up this Vikings podcast, but it's been a blast. Gabe, how many guests were on the podcast this year? Or not this year.
Yes.
I can't say the word, man.
Starting, not including me, we had 68 guests, and I was obviously a guest our first year, but to not include me, we had 68.
68 guests with Gabe since he wasn't host the first year, 69 guests on the podcast. That's just a crazy number. We came from even like the doctor of the nurse club here at Bethany during COVID.
That's true.
Don Westfall, the AD that we hope on I can't say the word here. I'm choked up here, Gabe. But he's staying at Bethany, but he's going into admissions, right?
Yeah, director of the Bethany Fund.
Of the Bethany Fund. So we wish him luck. He was a great guest to have. We went from NFL mock drafts to the Bethany Initials draft. Bethany Initials was a calling card. We went to the KTOE radio, even one of our episodes air there. So a lot of work over the last 3 years. I appreciate your help with this. Katie Jo Swenson, the sports info director, was a huge help making sure all these podcasts came out and were uploaded. Greg Vandermeer setting up the podcast studio. So a lot of people to thank, especially the number one thing we have to thank is all of our guests, because they're the ones that really made this show. I think I talk okay, but they're not listening to the show for me, Gabe. They're listening for our students, for sure.
Yeah, and they're definitely not wanting to come on and listen to my voice, but the guests, they made this show happen for us, for, I think, them to give them some exposure, but they're the reason why we really had this show going on. And obviously your initiative in starting this, so thank you, Brock. The many compliments we've received, it's been humbling for me. I know it has for you as well.
Absolutely. It makes us want to just make each show better and better. So that's Gabe Stays. I'm Brock Aker. One final time, thank you for listening to the Bethany Vikings podcast.